underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. And before we get going, let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys,
Thanks so much, David. Kobe, you've made no bones about patterning your game after Michael Jordan. You watched him while growing up. Can you give us a little insight into the impact of what, he meant to you and how he formed you in some ways?
Sure. Well, I think most players growing up, at least my generation, probably watched him play and saw all of the fancy plays, the dunks, the highlights, and things of that nature. What I focused on was how he got there. The moves, the timing, the fundamentals, the spacing, the rhythm. That's what I studied meticulously. And so when I watched him play, I think I watched him play a little differently than others. Having not gone to college and all these other things, growing up overseas, I had to learn the fundamentals by watching and observing the greats, and to the most minute detail.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Paul George. And it's Beverly in at the 1 spot. Kobe, you're a father. You've enjoyed that process. But basketball got in the way a lot of it. How do you balance fatherhood and playing at the level you played at?
Yeah, when I was winning championships there, our kids were still relatively young. Or I should say babies. In my last few years, they were older and knew they could really feel my absence. And so what I try to do is try to bring them along for the process. So there were mornings I would wake them up and say, let's go. So we're going. Well, Daddy's going to go train, so let's go.
No kidding.
And I bring them with me. And they'd be in the gym shooting around or kicking a soccer ball around or hitting a volleyball around. But I felt like it was important as a father to not just tell them about hard work, but they need to see what I'm doing. When you're sleeping, this is what I'm doing here for 3 hours. And so they're a part of the process and feel connected to the process. But traveling and things of that nature is very, very hard because there's been plenty of birthdays that I've missed and school plays that I've missed.
Morris kicks to Leonard. Cousins with a screen for Leonard and stolen by Drummond. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Schroeder. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Schroeder finds some deceptive ways to make you foul him. Someone who can nail some shots despite getting hit on the way up.
Los Angeles shooting their first free throw tonight. Hey, Kobe, when you take a look at great NBA rivalries, your mind goes more to the past than the present. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe you can enlighten us why rivalries seem to matter more or were more in our minds from yesteryear as opposed to today.
Because we can recall where we were when. Right?
Yeah,
the recollection is always more powerful in retrospect, right? I mean, that's always, you remember where you were when Magic hit that running hook shot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some people can remember where they were when Nelson hit that shot that bounced off the back of the rim and almost touched the rafters and fell back in, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's those memories that create a lasting impact. And even though in today's game, you can look at it and say, there's no real rivalries in today's game. There are. But they're only sink in over time.
So you think the Cleveland-Golden State rivalry, because the greats are on opposite sides there, will linger and will resonate like that?
Absolutely.
Here's Cousins. It's Drummond with the rebound.
You could tell he assumed he'd be able to beat the defensive coverage, even though it was all over.
James against Leonard. LeBron dishes to Drummond. Clock at 6. Shoots over Cousins. No good off the back of the rim. Clippers have gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. Well, Kobe, something that's such a huge tool in the NBA and the team's offense is the pick and roll, the screen roll game. You've done it as well as anybody. Just how are the nuances and the attention to detail important to make that play work?
Well, it's really important, but the screen roll today is run differently than it was, say, when Utah was running it with Stockton and Malone. What you're seeing now is more of a spread floor screen roll action where it makes rotations very difficult because you have to rotate off of shooters at a distance.
Right.
So now what you tend to see more teams try to down pick and roll coverages and sending guys to one side of the floor and try to play the screen roll coverage with 2 men and try to not have 3 guys in the action where you have to rotate and now push your team behind. Right, and that it's a dance of, can you play the screen roll with just 2 guys? And on offense, can I force you to have a 3rd guy come in and rotate? If I can do that offensively, then you're behind.
Lakers have gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. Shooter kicks to LeBron. Davis sets a screen. Takes a 3. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Yeah, you still have to get a hand up, even with LeBron out there. That's the one shot you invite him to take, but at least get the hand up.
You look back to the final game as a player, Kobe, all the emotion that was building up for that moment. Then you go out and score 60 points. Surreal moment. Did you ever think for any moment that maybe I've got 1 year left in the tank after that 60-point performance?
You know what? It wasn't a matter if I had another year in the tank. It was just, I just don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, I wake up in the morning, my body's sore. You know, that 60-point game was everything I had left for that year, and to be able to have to like reboot that and reset the system all over again, no thank you.
People don't see that side of it, do they?
No, they don't. But you know, it's just nor do we want them to, right? We want them to appreciate being entertained and coming to a game and taking their mind off of whatever it is they want to take their mind off of. It's an opportunity for them to escape, and that's what we provide. So that's completely fine.
Love the toughness shown by AD on the glass. He wants that rebound more than anyone else.
Talk, Kobe, about some of the great one-on-one scores. You might be the best ever, actually. But when you take a look at the crop now, who are some good guys in that one-on-one category that you like?
Kyrie's sensational. Yeah,
great handle. How about his handle? Like one of the best ever made.
Yeah, but he can post too, though. I mean, that's the thing, is he can post up. He can turn left shoulder. He can turn right shoulder. He can shoot a left-hand jump hook coming across the middle. He can pull up going left. He can pull up going right. He can attack off the handle. He can attack off the triple threat. And he's built the game without any weaknesses. I think most players, should be thankful that he's not 6'6".
You're right. 'Cause he'd be Kobe Bryant. Then, right? He'd be Kobe Bryant. But I always thought that, and his dad played big-time college basketball, played in Australia. Your dad played. I mean, there is something inherent, regardless of how much it comes from the son of a pro player.
Growing up overseas as well.
Exactly, in Australia.
Growing up overseas as well. And look at his game being so fundamentally sound, having basic structure. There's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. The Clippers shooting their second and third free throws tonight. In competition, once again, Kobe, the thing that drives you so much, even on the practice floor, you and Jordan were so much alike in that regard. Is it important to go with your teammates and challenge them in those practices that you recall?
You have to challenge them, because if you don't, then they become conditioned to not have those challenges every day, right? So if you come off of a night where you have a back-to-back, for example, you have a practice the next morning, it's our responsibility to step into that practice and challenge them as if it was the game that we just played the night before. Right? Because if you do not, then you don't have that competitive spirit day in and day out, where then you feel like you can take games off because you can take practices off because you just don't have it in practice. Right? So it's our job to bring that every single day so that competing just becomes a habit for them.
And you learn about their mental endurance and physical endurance during those practices.
Well, you challenge them to learn about themselves. Right? You challenge them to think about themselves. Can I push a little extra? And I'm going to have to, because he's driving me like crazy. And if I don't meet that challenge, I'm going to have to hear his mouth all practice long. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the plane. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the bus. I'm going to have to hear his mouth in the locker room.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just compete.
Here's Cousins. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
It's Caldwell Pope with the drive, and it's sent back by George. Here's Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk.
Well, how about Cousins out in transition, the big guy running the lane and showing the little guys how it can be done.
Kobe, I'm assuming that you've had teammates come back later and say, Kobe, you made me a better player.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when we're playing together, they don't like it very much because I'm always challenging them. But then at the end, like even to this day, we're all very close. We're all great friends because they knew what I was trying to do was trying to push them to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
And Kobe, you played for a handful of coaches during your career. When you look back on it, was there one coach you wished you could have played for but didn't have maybe a chance to play for?
Greg Popovich. That's an easy one for me. Although I did play for him in several All-Star games.
Yes, you did.
And one particular All-Star game in practice, he came up to me and said, okay, do you want me to just kind of go through like a whatever practice, or do you want me to do the real thing? I said, Pop, you got to do the real thing, because I've been dying to see what really goes on inside these Spurs practices.
Oh,
so you
my
gotta,
gosh,
you got to give us a real practice, man.
Yeah.
And he did. And Tim just kind of looked at me and was like, dude, Seriously.
What are you doing?
Come on, you're killing me.
So what was a Popovich practice like for you, and how did you try to set the tone?
It was high energy, and we moved from drill to drill. And it involved a lot of passing and moving and spacing. And so all of the shooting, it wasn't any individual shooting. All the individual shooting took place within a five-man offensive structure, of ball movement, of passing and cutting, and all of a sudden your shot comes here in the corner, and then you slide up to the next line, and you dribble, penetrate, and kick it, and then you slide to the next line, dribble, penetrate, kick. Right? So it involves constant movement where you're constantly training and conditioning the body that you're not just going to pass and stand and be a participant. Right? You want to be involved into that in the action. You're not going to be a passive participant.
He's covered by Rondo. Gasol passes to Kuzma. Good. Kuzma's got his first 2 points. Kobe, you look at all the former Defensive Player of the Year, and they're almost always big men. You were a 9-time first-team all-defensive selection in the NBA. Do you think guards sometimes get overlooked at the impact they have in a game and a play?
Yeah, they definitely do.
All the time, huh?
I think the bigs have a huge responsibility in protecting the rim, and those things are very easy to measure.
Right, block shots,
blocks,
and exactly,
rebounding,
altering
shots or defensive rebounds. For guards, it's tougher. But still in all, there's some guards out there who have done it. Michael and Gary Payton and Kawhi Leonard, I count him as a guard. They're just phenomenal defensive players.
Where does that mindset come from? That defensive mindset when you're an offensive gifted player like yourself?
Well, I think that's a truly competitive person. Some players will call themselves competitive, but you're not truly competitive if you're going to compete at one end of the floor. That's not what true competitive people do.
Kobe, that fadeaway jump shot of yours is such a foundational part of your game. What's the key to that particular shot? And who's carrying the torch for that shot now?
Well, yeah, the fadeaway is there's different ways to shoot the fadeaway. There's a Hakeem Olajuwon way of shooting the fadeaway. There's a Michael way of shooting the fadeaway.
Oscar used to do it, and I know you.
Oscar used to do it quite a bit. So I try to use bits and pieces from each, depending on the defender that I'm facing. But yeah, there's certain players that are carrying that shot now. LeBron shoots the fadeaway quite often, as does KD. He shoots it a lot. Clay will shoot it. Kawhi will shoot it quite a bit off of pull-up jumpers and things of that sort. So there are a lot of players doing it.
And Matthews kicks to Harrell. Lakers working the ball around now. Leonard with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break.
That just happened. It looks like an orange in his hand, and Kawhi tenacious to the rim with that finish.
Picked by Harrell. Inside. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And a look now at the breakdown between 3-point and 2-point shots attempted here tonight for the Lakers.
They are shooting the lights out from beyond on really limited attempts. So you have to think they ought to feed those hot hands on the perimeter and see if they can keep this thing going.
Zubac is checked in for Los Angeles. He's perfect from the line this time. Clippers trail by 6. Leonard the pass to Zubac. Jackson has the open look. Knocks down the 3 ball. Jackson's got 6.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
Pass to Gasol. There's 47 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Unable to get that one. The Clippers go the other way with it. And, of course, this is the first they're seeing of the Lakers.
And they didn't have much of a problem with these guys last season, and quite frankly, you wouldn't expect them to. The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Now the dish to Matthews. Now the pass to Harrell. Just 5 to shoot. Drills the 3-pointer. And the Lakers lead by 6. Leonard on the wing. Shoots over Matthews, and that's not going to go. And so it's Los Angeles with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. A terrific tempo and a great pace. The fast break has been a central part of their offense. We come back right after this. And Serge Ibaka, becoming known for his shooting ability now.
He trusts you every time he punts the ball.
Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is, huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
I tell you what, that first quarter, you can see the game plan is a commitment to offensive rebounding.
Well, their efforts have been rewarded here after one. Winning the battle over second chance points has them ahead on the scoreboard.
Here are the 5 the Clippers have to start the second. We've got Ibaka, Reggie Jackson out there with Rajon Rondo. And there's Batum. And it's Zubac in at the 5 down low.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time. And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Harrell with it. It's Ibaka picking him up to the right side. Out to the right wing. Here's Gasol. And that one comes up a bit short.
And he completely threw the timing off on that jumper. That is how you D up.
Playing with tremendous aggressiveness without fouling. It's an excellent job.
And here's a look at some stats for Marc Gasol. Great showing for him last season. He was around 19 points a game, 6 rebounds and 4 assists. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
Synergy, all elements right now working together, and the game is coming so easy right now.
Sean Livingston, he's checked in for Serge Ibaka.
Such a big bonus to have a big guy that can step up to the free throw line and knock down shots. So many guys struggle from there.
Over in the corner, Matthews drains it from beyond the arc. Matthews has got 5. And in the history of the NBA, only a handful of players have lasted 20 seasons. Kobe, you played all 20 with the Los Angeles Lakers, an NBA record for seasons with one team. What does it mean to just having worn that Laker jersey your entire career?
Well, I mean, it's a huge honor. I've always been a massive Laker fan, even when I was a kid. And so I never dreamed that I'd actually be wearing the golden armor for my NBA career. So to be sitting here right now, having played 20 years, is literally the coolest dream that could have ever happened to any kid. Happened to me.
And I don't know that it'll happen again. The way the league is structured now, money, the free agency, even though you had a chance to leave a couple times, you always chose to stay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's loyalty is a word that you hear thrown around often. But in this day and age, it's very tough to see in sports because of the cap, because of, the free agency market and so forth and so on. So I've been very, very fortunate to have a great organization and to be able to have played 20 years of my career here.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, we know the Clippers are one of the best teams in the league, but are they good enough to win it all? Coach Doc Rivers talked about overcoming the super teams they face. He said the big 3 in Boston, put them together, bam, we won. We had Miami, Golden State, but there are teams that still poke through. Dallas did it, and that's what we're trying to do. Kevin?
And with Doc in control, the Clippers, DA, they'll always be in contention for a title. Thanks so much for that terrific report. Gasol kicks to Harrell. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. Passes to Kuzma. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Clippers trail by 8. Kobe LeBron said he learned so much about how to approach the game when you shared the floor on Team USA. What was it like playing with a guy like him? You also played with Jordan, and then going up against him all those years.
Well, I think it was a shocking experience for them because I don't think they realized how much I talk trash. And so,
no.
Yeah,
what?
I don't think they knew because, when you from a distance, you say, Kobe, we thought you were really quiet and all some stuff, and you get to practice, and I just don't shut up. And I'm just saying really brutal things about their game. And it's just, they're getting really ticked off. But then,
because you were right.
Yeah,
well,
but then the intensity of practice goes up another level. And then we'd all go out to dinner, and then the next morning, we come into the meeting, and I've already been working out for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And so then they see that. And then, D. Wade would come up and say, hey, man, I want to join you in your workouts. What time are we going? 5 a.m. He'd be down there working out. And then Brian said, I want to come too. So Brian would show up, and then Melo would show up. And all slowly but surely, we have our whole USA team in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning
what a
training.
Constructive time out
It was
for those
beautiful.
other players.
But it was fun for all of us because we got a chance to hang around each other and think about the competition, right? So now when we come back to the NBA, fans are getting a better product. Right, because we've all been working out and pushing each other and getting better off of each other. So now when we step on the court to compete against each other, that means we have to take our games to another level.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Here's Davis. Rebound by the Clippers.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes everything can go right, but the shot doesn't go down. Nothing there is automatic.
Well, it seems like with more threes and more skill-based play, the league is adapting more of a European style of play. You grew up in Italy, Kobe. You know about that style. You appreciated that style. How did that impact your personal development as a player?
Well, tremendously. I mean, if you look at the era in which I grew up in Italy, you look at the players that came out of it. It's myself, Pau Gasol, Manu Ginobili. I mean, there's a lot of players that grew up in that same time frame that play the game fundamentally sound because I think all of the coaches here in America are doing camps and clinics for coaches overseas.
Like Hubie Brown, right?
Exactly.
He would always go overseas in the summer. Yeah.
Exactly. And so we were products of that teaching. So all of our coaches growing up were implementing the fundamentals and the basics of the game taught by these amazing American coaches. And so we were kind of fortunate in terms of the time that we grew up.
Kobe, you were a player who lived in the gym. What motivated you as you go back and look at all those hours you spent in the gym to do that, to follow that path?
I loved it. I loved the game. It wasn't a matter of working hard. I didn't realize I was working hard until like my second or third year in the league when I realized here in the NBA, a lot of players don't do that.
Right.
It was kind of a big shock to me. Like I assumed everybody in the NBA
just worked hard.
Yeah, but to me it wasn't hard work. It was like, I love doing this. Like there's no place on earth I'd rather be than be here in this gym with the basketball and the hoop.
But the greats are always the hardest workers, aren't they? I mean, right, have you ever seen a great player who is not the hardest worker on their team?
No, I've seen players have great seasons, and and then the next season it's not so much,
right.
And then they have another great one, and the consistency isn't there. The truly great players love what they do, and that looks like hard work to the outside world.
Did you enjoy playing the game? There was so much you put into the game, but did you enjoy the game?
I did. I enjoyed the game. I loved playing, the competition and all that, the getting ready and all that. But I enjoyed practice more.
Did you?
I did. I enjoyed training and practice more than I did the game.
The Clippers have made their free throws at a pretty good clip. They've hit 8 of 10.
Yeah, and of course, Marcus with a twin brother, Markieff, went to college together, played in the pros together. You'll have a hard time finding a closer pair of siblings.
DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for the Clippers. There's the pick. Davis dishes to LeBron. Back to Davis. This one for 3. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. James has got 3 assists tonight. Some say, Kobe, that the shooting guard crop in the NBA right now, a little light in terms of depth, not quite as many top 2 guards as we used to see play the game. Who do you like among some of the 2 guards you see now in the NBA?
Well, it depends who we're considering a 2 guard.
Right,
now,
because they
the
just
ones,
blend,
the 2s,
don't they?
the 3s, they all just blend.
Combo guards are playing some forward position. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. So, shooting guards to me are guards that have to do everything. You have to be able to play the post. You have to be able to play the perimeter. You have to be able to play the point. You have to do everything. So I'll put Russell Westbrook in that category. I'll put James Harden in that category. I'll put Kawhi Leonard in that category. There's a lot of players I'm forgetting. Even Giannis, I would say, is a 2 guard because of what he does.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talented guards out there.
Did you like the ball in your hand, bringing it up, or would you have rather someone else bring it up, then get it to you in the half court, and then do what you did?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm jealous about Michael. Because Michael didn't have to do that. He had Pippen.
Yes, right. So, who always brought it up.
Yeah,
yes,
so he could focus on coming off the screens and catching and shooting. He didn't have to think about facilitating first. He could think about scoring and then passing out of double teams.
Again, Los Angeles.
LeBron James consistent there from the mid-range. When he's in a good rhythm and the ball just rolls off his fingertips, you feel pretty good about it.
Kicks it to Morris. There's the screen. It's George on the wing. From the baseline. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over.
Now a chance to see the numbers for George. Coming off a terrific season. 5th for free throw percentage, 13th in steals, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And yeah, he was money from the charity stripe. Only a handful of players shot a better percentage last season. Tremendous asset. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. And it's 6 points for Kentavious Caldwell Pope. And Kobe, you talked about coming off screen. Some guys come off a screen and kind of just lollygag. You came off and you passed the ball and then get back at it again. Yeah.
Efficient.
Explode off those
the
screens.
Angles, right?
Yes.
You got to be able to read those things. And when you're catching, you're in attack mode all the time. But then it's demoralizing to the defense.
I'm sure it is.
You're always on.
Yeah.
You're always looking. You're always checking. You're always in fear that he's going to attack. So we always try to keep our foot in the gas.
Always.
Our foot in the throat.
Yeah. Pass to Cousins. Out to the right wing. Screen by Cousins. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
That's a perfect lob leading to a spectacular dunk from Davis there. Threw it up on time, on target.
And the Clippers call time here. You know, Kobe, you played 20 years in the NBA. Sports medicine and training becoming increasingly important for extending careers, keeping guys on the floor. How far has that science come in the time from you when you entered the league until the time that you retired last year?
Well, it helped me play 20 years.
Yeah, right.
You know?
But different methods all the way, huh?
Different methods all the way. I mean, it's when I first came in the league and understanding what sports medicine was at the time and the research on recovery. And as the years went on, more science research started coming out on the benefits of contrast therapy, of ice baths, and surgical procedures. Like, you know, if I would have ruptured my Achilles years ago, I never would have come back from it. You know, now, you know, my Achilles, even as I sit here today, it's like I never hurt it.
No kidding.
It's amazing.
Here's Schroeder. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. James has got 4 assists now tonight.
And right there, Dennis Schroeder shows some confidence by nailing the jumper.
Leonard, the pass to George. Over Caldwell Pope. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Caldwell Pope. The Clippers have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12.
In the season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws. They've hit every one of their free throws here in the second quarter. Very important when you're trailing.
Los Angeles leading by 10. A minute 42 left to play here in the second quarter. Caldwell Pope on the wing. He dishes it to Drummond. Takes a big height bouncing, goes in. Drummond's got the lead up to 12 now for the Lakers.
A really strong second quarter in terms of scoring the basketball.
Drummond working against Cousins. Kicks it out to Leonard. Matthews with the steal. Hey, Kobe, thanks so much for stopping by and having some fun with us tonight on the broadcast. Hope we can do it again real soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
Kobe Bryant. And Brent, you know firsthand the level of basketball IQ Kobe had when he played. Always interesting to hear what he has to say about the game.
Well, absolutely, Kevin. Kobe's one of the ultimate competitors and understands every nuance of the game. So nice to have some Mamba moments here for us.
Here's Cousins, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And so much of what Cousins does on the court is unstoppable. But at times, Brent, his leadership is something that can get in the way.
Well, I wouldn't technically call that leadership, Kevin. There are times where DeMarcus Cousins detracts from what it is the ultimate goal of a team. In the early part of his career, created a bit of negativity around the atmosphere of what was going on. I think over the past couple years, he's been much better. He's got a new situation now, maybe a new lease on life.
Harold, that's good.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless. Beverly
against Caldwell Pope. And Beverly kicks to Leonard. He feeds it to Cousins. Just 5 on the clock. He drains the turnaround jump shot. Cousins has got 11 points.
Well, this guy is a top-tier scorer for a reason, whether it's the block or expanding out to 3, the mid-range.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for LeBron James putting in some incredible work. He had 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
Well, it was an unselfish, team-oriented half of basketball. The ball never stopped moving. Their offense had a great flow to it.
And that wraps up the...
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. What can you say? LeBron James, what an Here's James. They've got Drummond. LeBron James is out there with Anthony Davis. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Caldwell Pope in at the 2. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. LeBron against Morris. 4 on the shot clock. Morris with the block.
And a rare block shot from Morris. Anticipates the move and just times it out perfectly.
Nobody near Leonard. Again, the Clippers.
And his versatility on offense is so spectacular. He always finds ways to help put points up on the board.
Davis sets a screen. Back to Drummond. Lobbed up there for Drummond. And stolen by Cousins. And a minute played as the second half gets going. Beverly wide open. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Beverly's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And sometimes Cousins, with how well he sees the floor, has those bullet passes. That one on a string.
To the paint and stolen by Cousins. George with no one around. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Davis sets a screen. Caldwell Pope outside. Schroeder kicks to Drummond. 5 on the clock. Caldwell Pope outside. And that time, also a missed shot. The Clippers have gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. To the inside. And it's Cousins. That time on the assist by George. Cousins has got the game tied up here for the Clippers. To the wing. Drummond dishes to Schroeder. Lakers working the ball around now. Caldwell Pope passes to James. Back to Caldwell Pope.
And out of the gates here in this second half, they have not started well. 0 of 3.
And here's Morris for 3. Rebound the Lakers. James has got 3 rebounds now in this one.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
AD already in his young career averaging over 22 points a game. And he can score in isolation, but where he's very elite is finishing off the assist, and also as a guy who runs the floor at his size extremely well.
Marcus All's checked in for Drummond. And Beverly kicks to Morris. And it's Leonard, top of the key. Releases. They get it back. Cousins. It's stolen by Schroeder. And here's the fast break. Davis leading the way. And it's slammed in by Davis.
Excellent defense from Schroeder there, coming away with the steal and a nice finish in transition.
And with Davis's length, awfully tough, Brent, to block his shot around the basket.
I think that gives him confidence that he can get around any defender. And Kevin, I would tell you, if Anthony Davis is a good defender himself, he can pick up some of the visual clues against the guys who are trying to defend him, where he can become a more offensive player.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Beverly against Schroeder. Screen by Cousins. Here's Beverly. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Beverly's got 11.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Caldwell Pope with it. George picks him up. Caldwell Pope passes to James. Over Morris. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Well, the team is still up despite him struggling, so hopefully he'll find his rhythm.
Leonard dishes to Beverly. Caldwell Pope against George. Over Caldwell Pope. And it's George again missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And it's sent back by George. And that's out of bounds. The Lakers will retain possession. Both teams deciding to change it up. Davis sets a screen. Pass to Kuzma. The feed to Gasol. Tries again. He takes it up and lays it in. He's got 5.
And he knows how to make good use of his size in that low block. And Gasol's inside game is very refined. There's a smoothness to how he approaches it.
Morris with the ball. Picked up by Davis. 6 to shoot. Leonard on the wing. Over LeBron. And the rejection by James. 3 on 3. From deep. It's hauled in by Zubats. Zubats has got his 5th rebound in this one.
He just can't find the bottom of the net right now. He's looking frustrated. This quarter has been a bit of a nightmare for him.
Feeds to Schroeder. Wide open. That's in there. Davis with the assist. And now a 9-point Los Angeles lead. There's a good screen. Morris kicks to Jackson. Back to Morris from past the arc. And he's good on the 3-ball. Morris has got 10.
And a guy with more of a mid-range game, Morris can still jack it up from deep if you give him enough space and time.
Kuzma passes to Davis. Schroeder kicks to Gasol. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Zubats has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Jackson in the corner. The rebound by Gasol. Gasol's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Schroeder dishes to LeBron. Knocks down the 3-ball. 15 points in the game.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
Jackson kicks to George. They set the pick. Dishes it to Morris. Jackson with it. Gasol covering from deep. George. No good that time. And it's the Lakers the other way. Next up, they'll face the Suns. That'll be in Phoenix. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. Davis setting the pick for Schroeder. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. And Davis with the basket on the assist by Gasol. Davis has got the lead up to 12 now for the Lakers. Brent, you have 2 championship rings. Some guys would kill for 1. Talk about a season where you thought you would capture a title, but for some reason it just wasn't meant to be.
It's interesting, after the 2005 championship in San Antonio, coming back in 2006, I thought we were destined to get the job done that very next year. And it's funny how slight the difference is between a championship season and just a contending season, Kevin. An injury, a bounce, a foul, a free throw. It makes you appreciate the fragility of what a championship season is all about.
Well said. The last season for Reggie Jackson, he just couldn't get back to full strength. Missed a lot of time, Greg, as you know, with that injury to start the year. And even when he returned, his legs wouldn't cooperate and give him his usual burst and acceleration.
Yeah, and you could see it in Jackson's performance and really the numbers. Steep drop in production from what he had been putting up, and very dependent on his burst. So hopefully he can avoid any leg troubles moving forward.
Ibaka, no luck. Lakers leading by 11. Here's Matthews. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Matthews has got his third basket of the night right there. Rondo kicks to Ibaka. Left side, Batum. Ibaka, wide open, he fires. Finds himself wide open and drills it.
And not entering the league as a natural catch-and-shoot guy, Ibaka certainly has developed this part of his game.
Gasol passes to Matthews. Back to Gasol. Here's Kuzma, guarded by Jackson. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Harrell. Not going to go that time. Some solid defense from Ibaka. Outside Jackson. The pass to Zubac. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is, and so they will award the basket there.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Livingston's checked in. Passes it to Kuzma. He kicks it to Harrell. Over to the left wing. Here's Kuzma, guarded by Jackson. Kuzma can't get it to go. 14 feet away. Count it, and the Laker lead has been cut down now to just 7 on the bucket from Jackson.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Tremendous focus with the bigger guy all over him. It speaks to the toughness he has down there.
Gasol a screen. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Drummond's checked in for the Lakers. Now the dish to Harrell. There's the triple. Rebounded by Serge Ibaka. Clippers trail by 7. Outside Jackson. And a wide open look for Rondo. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 4 assists in the game. Guarded by Jackson. It's stolen by Rondo. Now the Clippers moving it up. Lets it go from deep, and again Los Angeles with the triple.
Yeah, and Rondo just working the ball around there. He loves finding his teammates when they're open in the sweet spots.
They set the pick. Pass to Kuzma. Kicks it to Drummond. Over Ibaka. And misses it off the right side of the rim. The Clippers shooting well. 50% from the floor. Outside Rondo. He dishes it to Batum. Ibaka with a screen on Drummond. For the lead. And again, the Clippers good for 2.
And whatever intensity was lacking there in the first half, you're seeing it on display here now.
You asked for those hustle plays earlier in the game. We're seeing them now.
Picked by Harrell. Drummond with a screen on Rondo. Pass to Drummond. Looking to end the drought. The shot's good from Kuzma. Kuzma's got 13 points.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Outside Jackson. Ibaka. This is Rondo. Outside Jackson. From the stripe. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far. Shooting a very clean 5 of 7. Third quarter here and 5 lead changes so far.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Shoots the 3. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Clippers ahead as they end the third quarter with a tremendous 17-4 run. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Let's hear what Doc Rivers has going on over in his huddle.
Hey, guys, we need a run right here. Come on now. You're right there. You're right there. All right, let's go.
And sensing the need to string together more baskets, Doc Rivers giving his team a little pep talk.
Yeah, he's going after the momentum. I mean, Doc sees an opportunity here for them to put their stamp on this game.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. Rajon Rondo is out there with Patrick Beverley. Then there's Batum. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Ibaka in at the 4. Now the feed to Davis. Inside. And stolen by Cousins. From 12 feet out. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And now a 5-point Clipper lead.
And the ability to generate points off offensive rebounds, something Ibaka did a lot earlier in his career before he started spending so much time on the perimeter.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Matthews. Everly with the ball. His three-pointers off the mark.
Man, that's a clean shot, too. You got to sink those. He must be disappointed that he blew that chance.
Back to Davis. There's a screen. Caldwell Pope kicks to Drummond. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. That's good from Caldwell Pope on the assist by Drummond. Drummond's got 3 assists tonight.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Everly for 3. Can't get it to go. He's made 4 and just missed his 4th. Second minute off the clock now in the 4th. Caldwell Pope against Beverly. Fires the 3. And another 3 for the Lakers.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Feeds to Ibaka. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the 4th. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. The Lakers making a switch here. McLemore is checked in. Leonard, he's checked in for the Clippers. Here's Leonard. He feeds it to Rondo. Shot clock at 5. Over Caldwell Pope. And the Clippers miss again. The Lakers in the lead. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the 4th. And here's Matthews for the 3. Hits it from 3-point range.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really the entire 4th quarter.
Yeah, not a bad time to be ripping the nets from distance, piling up some major points here.
And it's Leonard missing. Here's the Lakers with the ball. They're rolling here with a 9-point run. In the corner, it's McLemore. And Matthews kicks to Drummond. Davis in the corner. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. And now a 6-point Laker lead. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Screen by Cousins. Lets the 3 fly. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Drummond's got 9 rebounds now tonight.
He seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calmer, a little smarter, with a little bit more poise if they're going to win this one.
Davis with a screen on Beverly. Drummond a screen, and McLemore kicks to Caldwell Pope. Off target from outside.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Oh, man, he'd love to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
This is to McLemore. Drummond with a screen on Beverly. McLemore Makes it off the glass.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
Clippers trail by 6. Outside Rondo. The pass to Leonard. Shoots over Matthews. It's good, and it's his 6th make against 11 attempts.
Well, at a time when threes and dunks are the toast of the league, Leonard showing that strong mid-range game can be just as valuable.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
And the Clippers call time here.
Sounds weird to say, but a guy 7 feet tall like Anthony Davis could be considered an out-of-nowhere superstar. In high school, he was a skinny kid on the bench, not like he's big now. But until an 8-inch growth spurt changed everything. That's why he's got those point guard skills.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Marc Gasol's checked in for Andre Drummond. James comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Ben McLemore. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Doc Rivers said to his team. He told them, it's time for you to fight to get this lead. Let's bring this one home. Guys, we'll see if they have what it takes to get it done. Back to you.
James against Leonard. Shoots over Leonard. James, no good. And Davis wasn't on the recruiting radar really until his senior year of high school.
I really cannot believe that, especially after watching the 1 year in Kentucky, winning a national championship, most outstanding player of the tournament, the #1 pick, grabbing a gold medal. I mean, the scouts are out there, right?
And here's Los Angeles. They're on a 15-6 run. Gasol passes to Schroeder. Passes it to Davis. Back to Schroeder. Davis setting the pick for Schroeder. Outside Gasol. Takes the 3. And James gets it to go on the assist by Gasol. And that's now 18 points for LeBron. Clippers trail by 7. Everly with the ball. Now guarded by Schroeder. Here's the screen. Gasol against Leonard. Beverly for 3. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game.
And battling hard on the glass, they hold the advantage here so far.
Schroeder dishes to Caldwell Pope. Shoots from the line. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Leonard. And no good. James with some nice D. Davis kicks it over to Schroeder. Gasol passes to Schroeder. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got 4 assists now tonight.
And Schroeder did not even have to think twice about that shot. This young man simply devours these chances inside.
Back to George. Screen by Cousins. Off the screen. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. 11 points for Paul George.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
LeBron kicks to Gasol. No good with the triple.
He's been a little bit disappointing in this game. However, his team has his back. They need a little bit more help from him. Well, he's got both height and length, and that time showed them both.
Lakers leading by 7. LeBron kicks it over to Schroeder. His 3-pointers off the mark.
Yeah, the defense there in chill mode. We all know he can burn them from 3-point range.
Here's Leonard. Great D that time from LeBron. The Lakers have gone 8 of 13 from the field since the start of the 4th, sinking the majority of their shots. Buries it from 3-point range.
I don't know. I'm getting the feeling as this game moves on, he's getting stronger.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
DeMarcus Cousins, a big guy without a doubt who can carry the offensive load for any team that he's playing on. He puts up some incredible numbers on some decent offensive efficiency, over 20 shots a game, though, the last few seasons.
And the Clippers making a switch here. Jackson's checked in. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Caldwell Pope dishes to LeBron. Just 5 to shoot. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. And Gasol gets it to go. And for Cousins, one of the reasons he can carry a team on offense is how many different ways he can score.
Well, he does an amazing job of getting to the line, and a couple seasons in his career so far, Kevin, has been over 10 free throws a game. Those are easy points to put up on the board.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.
And to me, the best part of his game has been the work he's done inside. I mean, slashing, driving the lane, attacking the basket at every chance. When he's had an opening, he's taken it.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Clippers trail by 12. Outside Jackson. Leonard with a screen on LeBron. Morris a screen. The dish to Cousins. Over Gasol. And that's going to be a travel.
Yeah, they're starting to go in the wrong direction in terms of turnovers. It's slowly becoming a problem.
Lakers leading by 12. James, the pass to Gasol. There's a good screen. Back to James. Caldwell Pope outside. He kicks it to James. 6 to shoot. Back to Caldwell Pope. Knocks it loose. From deep three-point range, it's hauled in by Los Angeles. Cousins has got 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. Pass to Jackson. Leonard with a screen on James. 6 to shoot. Leonard kicks to Cousins. Over Gasol. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut down to 10 on the bucket from Cousins.
You know, I don't know how much more we can laud the play of DeMarcus Cousins, but he's on a roll like this. He is something to watch.
George against Caldwell Pope. Kicks it to Gasol. He dishes it to James. Here's Caldwell Pope. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Yeah, shaky defense there. Giving up the bucket plus sending KCP to the line.
On the free throw, no good.
And one of the more surprising moves this past offseason was when the Pistons let KCP go. Two sides couldn't see eye to eye on a contract, and eventually they let him be an unrestricted free agent.
Schroeder outside. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Gasol a screen. Off the pick. And down it goes. Jamming that one home.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Lakers.
And it may be a comfortable win for them, but, they had to weather a few storms along the way, and that's all part of the story.
Yeah, Kevin, this was by no means the runaway that it might appear to be. It was a scrappy performance, though, all the way through.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And one of the league's top talents, game in and game out. And doing it here again in this one. A terrific night for LeBron.
He was remarkable. Absolutely destroyed the opposition. Any matchup he had tonight, it felt like he was going to dominate.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Livingston comes in for George. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Morris with the bucket.
And I like the different looks that Morris can give you. Inside, outside, and in transition.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. They set the pick. Harrell dishes to McLemore. The baseline J. Davis. It's good on the putback. And the Lakers lead by 12.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And a chance now to... All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time.